Let's be honest, the cost of getting a perfect smile can be, well, absolutely astronomical in some places. But what if I told you the best solution, combining top tier quality with a much lower price, wasn't in some far flung budget destination? What if it was in one of the most famously expensive countries in the entire world? So picture this. You book a trip to Europe. You're surrounded by breathtaking mountains, incredible culture, and you come back not just with amazing photos and memories, but with a brand new, permanent smile that completely changes your life. Oh, and you did it for a fraction of what it would have cost back home. Now, to really get your head around how big that fraction is, you need to see the kind of bill people are facing. $78,000. And no, that is not a typo. That was a real quote someone in the US got for a full mouth reconstruction. A number like that, it kind of forces you to get creative and look for other options. And that search brings us to a very, very surprising place. So where is this dental oasis? Switzerland. Yep, Switzerland. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Isn't that one of the priciest places on the planet? And you're right, which is exactly the paradox we're about to dive into. It really is a paradox. You expect to pay a premium for a Swiss watch or a cup of coffee in Geneva. But when it comes to their healthcare system, especially high-end dentistry, the economics are just different, especially when you compare it to the runaway costs you see in other countries. Okay, so how is this even possible? Well, this isn't about finding the absolute rock-bottom cheapest price on the globe. This is about something much more valuable, a unique sweet spot where incredible quality meets surprising affordability. This is what we're calling the Swiss advantage. So the foundation here is a national obsession with quality. We're talking about incredibly strict oversight from the Swiss Medical Association, internationally recognized quality certifications, and the fact that cutting-edge tech isn't an upgrade, it's just the standard. Plus, they use the best of the best, premium implant brands. This isn't just dentistry, it's precision engineering, just like those famous watches. And here's the proof in the pudding. Look at these numbers. The savings on a single implant? Pretty good, right? But now look at the really complex stuff. For an all-on-4 treatment or that full reconstruction, you're talking about saving tens of thousands of dollars. Enough to pay for the flights, the hotel, a great vacation, and you'd still come home with a massive amount of savings. When you zoom out, you're consistently looking at saving somewhere between 40 and 60%. That's a huge deal. That's the kind of number where even when you add in all the travel costs, the financial logic is just impossible to ignore. Okay. So the quality is there, the savings are real, but what's it actually like to do this? It sounds kind of daunting, right? Flying across the world for dental work. But the Swiss clinics have really perfected this process, turning it into a clear, manageable journey. It really breaks down into 4 simple steps. Step 1 happens right from your living room. Virtual chats, getting a clear cost breakdown, and planning the logistics. Then you take your first trip for the hands-on prep and the actual implant surgery. You head home for a few months to heal, and then you take one final, shorter trip to get your permanent, beautiful crowns fitted. It's a really well-oiled machine. To put a human face on all this, let's talk about Sarah. She's a 52-year-old teacher from Phoenix, and she was the one staring down that unbelievable $78,000 quote we saw earlier. So after her 2 trips to Switzerland, treatment, flights, hotels, everything, her total savings came to $46,000. I mean, just think about that. For most people, that's a new car, a down payment on a house. It's a truly life-changing amount of money. But you know what? For her, it wasn't even just about the money. She said she got perfect function and aesthetics. And that's the real key here, isn't it? The incredible outcome made the entire journey worth it. But of course, it's not all 5-star hotels and massive savings. We gotta be real. Any major medical decision, and especially one that involves hopping on a plane, comes with some risks and practical things you just have to think about. Okay, so you might be worried about things like follow-up care, right? That's a valid concern, but there's a strategy. You arrange it with a local dentist before you even go. Worried about emergencies? That's what medical travel insurance is for. For every potential challenge, there's a smart, practical way to manage it. And to get a truly accurate picture of your total cost, you have to think beyond the dentist's invoice. You've got a budget for at least 2 round-trip flights, your hotel stays, food, maybe some lost income from taking time off work. Building a realistic budget from the start is what keeps you from having any nasty surprises later on. Now, what about insurance? This might surprise you. Don't just assume they won't cover anything. While it's never a sure thing, a lot of US insurance plans might actually cover a portion of treatment abroad, especially if it's considered medically necessary. It costs you nothing to call your provider and ask, and you could be pleasantly surprised. So we've looked at the incredible quality, the serious savings, the step-by-step process, and the potential risks. All of this leads us to the biggest question of all. How do you know if this is actually the right move for you? Let's break it down. This option is probably a fantastic fit if you need a lot of work done. Multiple implants, a full arch, that kind of thing. And if you're someone who really values top-tier quality. On the other hand, if you just need one simple implant, or if the idea of international travel for healthcare just doesn't sit right with you, then staying local is probably the better call. It really is a personal calculation. Now, if you do decide to look into this, you need to go in prepared. These 3 questions are your armor. They are absolutely non-negotiable. Asking about their success rate, the fine print on their warranty, and most importantly, how they handle any problems after you're back home. The answers to these will tell you everything you need to know about how professional that clinic really is. When it's all said and done, it comes down to this one simple truth. Whether you're traveling the world or going down the street, your smile is a huge investment in yourself, one that should last for decades. And that means quality and long-term success have to be the #1 priority. Which really just leaves us with one final question to chew on. Is the price of a perfect smile just the dollar amount on the final bill? Or is it something more? A combination of cost, world-class quality, peace of mind, and the incredible value of having a confident, healthy smile for the rest of your life. Definitely something to think about.